We all have moments where we find ourselves waiting for the perfect time to act. We tell ourselves when things settle down, or I'll do it when I'm ready. But here's the truth. Waiting for the right moment is often just another form of procrastination. What if I told you that the perfect time is now? What if you could take control today, in this very moment? Stoicism, at its core, teaches us the power of acting now, of taking immediate responsibility for our thoughts, actions, and decisions. It isn't about waiting for everything to align perfectly before we begin. It's about understanding that the only thing truly in our control is the present moment. Every second we wait is a second we lose, and in the end, it's these small moments that make up the life we lead. The urgency of action is something that Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus deeply understood. They didn't wait for external circumstances to change. Instead, they focused on what they could control: their own response, their own decisions, and their commitment to living a virtuous life. In their view, action is the key to growth. The moment we take responsibility for what's within our power is the moment we stop being passive observers of our own lives. I want you to reflect on something for a moment. What have you been putting off? What is it in your life right now that you know you should take responsibility for, but you've been waiting for the right time? The truth is, the right time is here, right now. Stoicism teaches us that the time for action is always present, and the power to change, to grow, and to live in alignment with our values is in our hands today. So, take a deep breath, and let's explore the Stoic philosophy of acting now. Let's uncover how you can stop waiting for life to happen and start taking control of it today. Part 1. Stoicism and the present moment. You might be sitting there right now feeling like life is moving faster than you can keep up. You might be reflecting on past mistakes, worrying about future uncertainties, or maybe you're just stuck in the endless loop of what if. It's easy to get caught in the rush of everything, to feel like the present moment is slipping away, leaving you with nothing but fleeting thoughts. But here's the thing. The present moment is all you really have, and Stoicism offers you a way to embrace it, fully, completely, and without hesitation. Take a moment to breathe. Right now. Close your eyes for just a second. Feel the air around you, the ground beneath you, and the rhythm of your breath. Notice how everything you need is in this moment. The past doesn't exist anymore, and the future hasn't arrived yet. This moment is where your power lies. Stoicism teaches that the only thing within our control is what we do right now. You have the power to shape the next moment, to choose how to respond to life, to decide how you will carry yourself, regardless of external circumstances. No matter what has happened before or what might happen later, the present is yours. And here's the truth. You are not defined by your past. Every moment, you are creating yourself. Every thought, every action, every choice you make right now shapes who you are becoming. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus would say that you have no control over what happens to you, but you do have control over how you react. So, if you feel burdened by past mistakes or afraid of future challenges, remember, it's your reaction in the present that matters most. You are free to choose how you respond. It might be hard to grasp that idea, especially when life seems overwhelming or you feel like you're trapped in a situation. But the Stoic mindset is not about denying your emotions or pretending like everything is fine. It's about recognizing that you have the power to respond thoughtfully, no matter how you feel in that moment. It's about letting go of the illusion that you can control everything and embracing the freedom that comes from knowing that the only thing truly in your control is your present response. Now let's talk about what happens when you embrace the present moment. When you stop waiting for external things to change, whether it's a better job, a different relationship, or the right opportunity, and you take full responsibility for what you can do right now, something powerful happens. You tap into your inner strength. You see, too often, you might feel like you're waiting for life to give you permission to act. You wait for the right sign, the right opportunity, the right time. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There is only this moment. And in this moment, you have the ability to choose how to move forward. You are not waiting for life to happen to you. You are making life happen through your actions. In every moment, you have the power to choose how you engage with the world. Will you act with courage or retreat in fear? Will you respond with compassion or anger? Will you embrace the challenge, or will you remain stuck in the uncertainty of waiting? The beauty of Stoicism is that it teaches you to break free from the constant cycle of waiting and worrying. It shows you that the power to change your life lies not in the future, but right here, in the choices you make now. Remember this: the present moment is never a passive space. It's active, it's alive, and it's filled with possibility. When you choose to live in the present, you're not only choosing to act, you're choosing to engage fully with life, to show up as the person you're meant to be. This is where you truly begin to experience the freedom and strength that comes with taking responsibility for your life. And this is your invitation. Right now, you can begin. Don't wait for a better time. Don't wait for circumstances to change. You have the power within you to make this moment count. This is where your journey begins, here in the now. So, take a step. The next move is yours. Part 2. The concept of responsibility in Stoicism. There's a quiet strength in the word responsibility. It's not a heavy burden, but rather a powerful key to your freedom. You might have heard it before, maybe even felt a bit overwhelmed by it. But what if I told you that responsibility, in the Stoic sense, is not about carrying the weight of the world, but about taking charge of the one thing that truly belongs to you, yourself? In Stoicism, responsibility isn't about controlling everything around you. It's about understanding that you hold the power to control your own reactions. This might feel like a simple truth, but it's the foundation of the Stoic way of life. When you stop focusing on things outside your control and start taking full responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, and actions, something profound shifts. You start to realize that you are not a victim of circumstances. You are the creator of your own experience. Right now, think about your life. Think about the situations that have caused you stress, frustration, or pain. What if you shifted your perspective? What if you stopped blaming others, stopped feeling like life was happening to you, and instead began to ask yourself, what is it that I can control here? The truth is, you always have control over how you respond. You can't change what someone else does, but you can choose how you react. When you embrace this idea, you free yourself from the mental prisons that keep you trapped in negative thoughts and emotions. You begin to realize that your power lies in how you choose to react to life, not in trying to force everything to go the way you want. Imagine for a moment that you take full responsibility for your life. No excuses, no blaming, no waiting for someone or something else to change. You make the choice to be the person who shows up every day with purpose and integrity. Every thought, every action, every decision you make comes from a place of personal responsibility. You stop letting life happen to you. Instead, you make life happen for you through your actions. But taking responsibility doesn't mean that everything will be easy or perfect. It doesn't mean that you'll never face challenges or difficulties. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Stoicism teaches that life is full of obstacles, and that's okay. What matters is how you respond to those obstacles. You can either let them defeat you, or you can face them head-on with the knowledge that you have the power to choose your response. This is where true freedom lies, not in avoiding hardship, but in owning your responses to it. When you take responsibility for your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and your reactions, you are free. You are no longer at the mercy of your circumstances. You are in charge of your own journey. Think about the moments when you felt truly empowered. What was happening? In those moments, you were likely taking full responsibility for yourself, your decisions, your actions, your mindset. You were choosing to show up as your best self, no matter the situation. That is the power of responsibility. It allows you to step into your full potential, to rise above whatever life throws at you, and to stay grounded in your own strength. Here's the most important part of all of this. Responsibility is not a burden. It's a privilege. It's a chance for you to take control of your life and become the person you were always meant to be. You have the power to create the life you want, right now, in this moment. The Stoics believed that we are all capable of living virtuous, purposeful lives, but only if we take full responsibility for ourselves. So, how do you begin? It starts with small choices, decisions you make every day to take responsibility for your thoughts and actions. Maybe it's choosing not to react in anger when someone cuts you off in traffic. Maybe it's deciding to take action on a project you've been putting off. Maybe it's simply being more mindful of your emotions and choosing to respond to them with patience and understanding. Whatever it looks like for you, taking responsibility is the key to living the life you want. When you embrace this mindset, you stop waiting for the world to change for you. You become the creator of your own reality. And in that, you'll find a freedom that you've never known before. Remember, the power is always in your hands. You are the author of your story. Take responsibility. Start now. Part 3. The Stoic Approach to External Circumstances. There's a truth you need to come to terms with. Life will not always go your way. No matter how much you plan, how much you prepare, or how hard you try, the world outside of you will throw challenges, disappointments, and obstacles in your path. It's inevitable. But here's the key. It's not the circumstances that define you, but how you respond to them. This is where Stoicism offers a powerful insight. The Stoics didn't deny the existence of hardship or pain. They didn't expect a life free of struggle. Instead, they taught us a simple yet profound principle. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. That's where your true strength lies. You're probably familiar with this feeling, the frustration when things go wrong, the helplessness when life feels unfair. You've likely experienced moments when the weight of circumstances seem too heavy to bear. But what if I told you that in those moments, you still have a choice? You can choose to allow those external events to shape your inner peace, or you can choose to rise above them. Think about it for a moment. How often have you let external events, someone's criticism, a difficult situation at work, or an unexpected setback rob you of your peace? How many times have you allowed circumstances beyond your control to dictate your emotions and reactions? The Stoic approach challenges you to rethink this pattern. The Stoics encourage you to remember one fundamental truth: what's outside your control is not worth your emotional investment. Whether it's the actions of others, the opinions of the world, or events that seem to derail your plans, these things do not have the power to affect your peace unless you let them. Your peace, your calm, your ability to stay grounded are all within your control. Now, I know that might sound difficult, especially when you're faced with challenges that feel overwhelming. But the key is not to suppress your emotions or pretend everything is fine. It's about learning to acknowledge those emotions, but not to be ruled by them. You are allowed to feel frustration, anger, or sadness, but you do not have to let those emotions control you. Instead, you can choose how to respond to them. Here's the truth: you cannot change the external world, but you can always change how you relate to it. You can choose to face the challenges with resilience, with an understanding that every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more grounded in your own peace. Imagine, just for a moment, if you could truly embrace this idea. What if every time life handed you a difficult situation, you didn't react with frustration or defeat, but with calm and clarity? What if you could look at those challenges and see them as opportunities for inner growth instead of roadblocks? When you stop giving external circumstances the power to dictate your inner state, you take back control. You begin to see that no matter what happens outside of you, you are always free to choose your response. And that freedom, the freedom to choose your own mindset, no matter the situation, that's where your power lies. The Stoics believed that external circumstances are like the weather, unpredictable and beyond our control. But just as the weather doesn't need to dictate how we feel, neither should the events of our lives. You can live with grace and composure, even when the world around you feels chaotic. You can meet challenges with the certainty that your response is the one thing that's truly within your control. So, the next time life throws something unexpected your way, remember, you don't have to react automatically. You don't have to give in to frustration or anger. You have the power to pause, to reflect, and to respond in a way that aligns with your values and inner peace. You can choose to remain grounded, calm, and in control, no matter what's happening around you. In the end, your peace isn't dependent on the external world. It's dependent on you, on your ability to stay anchored in your own responses. And that's the most powerful freedom you can ever possess. So, take a moment right now and reflect. What in your life is currently outside your control? And more importantly, how can you choose to respond to it in a way that empowers you rather than diminishes you? The choice is always yours. Part 4. The consequences of delaying action. There's something I need you to consider. How often have you put things off, thinking you have time? Maybe it's that goal you've been meaning to pursue, that conversation you've been avoiding, or that decision you've been postponing. You keep telling yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," or, "When the time is right, I'll take action." But here's the truth. Delaying action doesn't just keep you from moving forward. It changes you. You may not feel it in the moment, but every time you delay what you know you should be doing, something inside you shifts. That spark of motivation, that initial excitement you had, starts to fade. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to start. And eventually you find yourself stuck, not because the task is too hard, but because the habit of delay has become too strong. You have dreams, desires, and goals that are waiting for you to take that first step. But every moment you wait, those dreams slip further away. It's easy to get caught in the illusion that there's always time. But let me remind you, time doesn't wait for anyone. It's constantly moving, and with every passing day, the opportunity to act slips just a little further from your grasp. This is not just about missed chances. It's about the internal toll that procrastination takes on you. When you delay action, you weaken your sense of self. You start questioning your own ability to follow through. You tell yourself, maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe this isn't the right time. But deep down, you know it's not about timing. It's about commitment. It's about your willingness to take responsibility for your own life, to stop waiting for the perfect conditions and simply start. I know that fear often holds you back. Fear of failure, fear of making the wrong decision, or fear of the unknown. But here's something important to remember. The greatest failure is not trying at all. If you don't take action, if you keep waiting for the right moment, you're choosing to live in a place of constant uncertainty and missed potential. You're choosing to live with the weight of regret instead of the possibility of growth. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying action should be reckless. Stoicism doesn't teach us to rush headlong into everything. What it teaches is mindful action, action rooted in wisdom, discipline, and clarity. But here's the key point. Action, no matter how small, is still progress. It's about breaking free from the cycle of delay and starting where you are, with what you have. Every small step you take creates momentum, and momentum is powerful. Consider how your life could change if you stopped putting things off. Think about the weight that would lift off your shoulders if you simply made the decision to start today. What could you achieve in the next month, the next year, if you took just one step forward instead of waiting for everything to align perfectly? What would happen if you stopped delaying and trusted yourself to take action? Your future self is waiting for you to take that step. They are waiting for you to break free from the hesitation and uncertainty that have held you back for so long. And when you look back on your life, the most fulfilling moments will not be the ones where you hesitated, but the ones where you acted. The ones where you decided that now, in this moment, you were going to move forward. So I ask you, what are you waiting for? What's holding you back from taking that first step? Fear? Doubt? The perfect moment that may never come? The Stoics remind us that the only time you truly have is now. This very moment is your opportunity to act. So, what will you do with it? Remember, it's not about the grand gestures or the perfect plan. It's about the courage to take that first step, no matter how small. Every action you take leads you closer to your goals, closer to the life you desire. So stop delaying. The time is now. Part 5. Applying Stoicism to modern life. In a world that never seems to stop moving, where distractions are constant and expectations are high, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. The demands of daily life, the pressures to keep up, the need to constantly achieve, it can all leave you feeling like you're chasing something just out of reach. But here's the thing. You don't have to live that way. Imagine for a moment. What if you could face each challenge with a sense of calm? What if, instead of reacting with stress or frustration, you responded with clarity and purpose? The power to do this lies within you. It's the essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that, though ancient, offers profound insights for how to live in today's world. When you look at your life, think about the moments that make you feel most reactive, the situations that trigger frustration, anger, or fear. These are the moments when Stoicism can change everything. You can't always control what happens to you, but you always have control over how you respond. In Stoic philosophy, it's taught that our thoughts and reactions are the only things truly within our power. External circumstances, the chaos, the opinions of others, the challenges, are beyond your control. But how you choose to meet those challenges, how you decide to respond, is where your true power lies. This is what makes Stoicism so relevant today. Think about your own life. Maybe you're facing a tough situation at work or in your relationships. Maybe you've been feeling overwhelmed by your responsibilities or uncertain about your future. It's easy to get lost in these feelings, to think that they define you, to feel as though you're at their mercy. But Stoicism teaches you that you don't have to be a victim of your circumstances. Instead, you have the ability to rise above them. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending that everything is okay when it's not. It's about recognizing that you are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you choose to respond. When you embrace this, you free yourself from the grip of external circumstances. You begin to understand that life will throw challenges your way, but it's how you meet them that shapes who you are. This is where Stoicism can truly transform your life. It gives you the tools to stay grounded, even when the world feels chaotic. Imagine, instead of reacting impulsively to every little thing that doesn't go your way, you could pause, reflect, and choose your response with intention. That pause, that moment of choice, is where your true power lies. In your everyday life, this might look like taking a deep breath when things get stressful. It could mean stepping back when someone says something hurtful instead of immediately reacting with anger. It might mean accepting that some things are simply out of your control and choosing to focus instead on what you can change. These small actions, though they seem simple, build up over time to create a life of greater peace and purpose. By applying Stoicism to your life, you start to see every moment as an opportunity to practice virtue. You begin to realize that you are in charge of your own happiness, your own peace, and your own direction. No matter what's happening outside of you, you can always choose how to navigate it. You can choose to be calm, to be patient, to be mindful. But the key is to start where you are. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. What you need is to make the decision right now that you will live with intention, that you will no longer be tossed around by the winds of external circumstances, that you will take responsibility for your own inner peace. When you apply Stoicism to your modern life, you are not just reacting to the world, you are shaping it with your actions, your thoughts, and your response. Every moment you live according to your values. Every moment you choose calm over chaos. You create a life that is more aligned with your true self. And in doing so, you will begin to see the world around you shift. So I ask you, how will you respond to the challenges you face today? Will you let them dictate your mood, your peace, your sense of purpose? Or will you take a deep breath, remember your power, and meet them with stoic calm? The choice, as always, is yours. Conclusion. You've come a long way through this journey, not just in listening to a philosophy, but in quietly touching something deeper within yourself. Something strong. Something still. That voice inside you, the one that knows there's a better way to live, is not asking for perfection. It's asking for presence, for responsibility, for you to return to your own power. The Stoics didn't promise an easy life. They promised a meaningful one. And that kind of life is built, not in the grand, dramatic moments, but in the quiet decisions you make every day. To pause instead of react, to accept instead of resist, to focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. So now, the question comes back to you. What will you choose? This isn't about changing everything overnight. It's about beginning, right now, in this moment. Maybe that means you start journaling about what's within your control. Maybe you begin observing your reactions more carefully. Or maybe you simply sit with a little more calm the next time life tests you. That's enough. That's more than enough. If this message resonated with you, then let it guide your next step. And if you feel like someone else in your life could benefit from hearing it too, share it. You never know who might need it at just the right time. And if you want to keep walking this path, exploring Stoicism not as a theory, but as a way of life, I invite you to subscribe. This channel exists to help you live with greater calm, clarity, and strength, not someday, but today. Because you deserve that peace, you deserve that inner strength, and it's already within you. You just have to choose it.